Imagine flying insects that, instead of spreading diseases, are your guardians against flesh-eating parasites. Sounds like science fiction? Get ready for the incredible truth behind nuclear flies and how they save lives. The invisible threat? Flesh-eating parasites. Before we dive into nuclear flies, we need to understand the enemy, flesh-eating parasites. Yes, they exist. We're talking about creatures like the New World screwworm fly, a pest that has devastated livestock and, yes, can infest humans. Their larvae lay eggs in open wounds, and when they hatch, the maggots begin to feed on living tissue. Infestation causes agonizing pain, secondary infections, and, if left untreated, can be fatal. Controlling these pests is an immense challenge, especially in tropical and subtropical regions. The birth of a radical solution, the sterile insect technique. For decades, farmers and veterinarians battled the screwworm fly with pesticides and chemical treatments, but the results were temporary and caused environmental damage. That's when scientists had a brilliant idea. What if we could use the insects themselves to fight their own kind? Thus, the sterile insect technique was born. The atomic secret: controlled irradiation. The key to SIT lies in irradiation. In large facilities, millions of male screwworm flies are mass-reared. But before they reach maturity, they are subjected to controlled doses of gamma radiation, usually from cobalt-60 sources. This irradiation doesn't kill them, but it makes them sterile. They remain perfectly capable of flying and mating, but their sperm is damaged, preventing the fertilization of eggs. Guarded freedom. The sterile army in the sky. Once sterile, these millions of males are released by planes or drones into infested areas. They disperse and compete with wild males for females. Female screwworm flies mate only once in their lifetime. When a female mates with a sterile male, she lays eggs that will never hatch. In other words, she has wasted her only chance to reproduce. The slow but winning war. Population reduction. The goal isn't to kill all the flies, but to disrupt their reproductive cycle. With the continuous release of millions of sterile males, the proportion of unfruitful matings increases exponentially with each generation. This leads to a drastic decline in the pest population. Think of it as a war of attrition, where the sterile soldiers sabotage the enemy army from within. Proven success. From terror to control SIT is not a theory. It's a proven and extremely successful strategy. Countries like the United States and most Central American and Caribbean nations have completely eradicated the screwworm fly using this technique. Previously, the pest caused billions of dollars in livestock losses. Today, the threat is almost non-existent in these regions, protecting not only animals but also humans. Benefits beyond eradication, ecology and economy. The benefits of SIT go beyond pest control. Because it's a species-specific technique, it doesn't harm other beneficial insects, such as pollinators. There are no chemical residues in the environment, meat, or agricultural products, making it an ecologically clean solution. Economically, the long-term costs are much lower than the continuous use of pesticides. The ongoing challenge, border surveillance. Despite the success, vigilance is constant. To prevent the screwworm fly from reinfesting eradicated areas, control programs are maintained at borders, especially between pest-free countries and those where it still persists. This shows that the fight against these parasites is an ongoing battle that requires international cooperation and investment in research. An unexpected lesson: science in our favor. Nuclear flies are an extraordinary example of how science and technology, when applied intelligently and ethically, can be used to solve complex real-life problems. They show us that not all radiation is destructive, and that sometimes the best way to fight a threat is to turn it into its own weapon. It's a story of human ingenuity, resilience, and nature's incredible ability to surprise us. Did you already know this fascinating story? What did you think of this technique? Leave your comment and share this counterintuitive curiosity. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more mind-blowing videos.